Welcome to Owl the Storyteller, where style becomes story and fabric becomes history. Today I'm guiding you into the Late Belle Époque, from 1900 to 1914, an era of satin salons, corseted silhouettes, and fashion as social theater. Here, clothes weren't just about beauty. They broadcast power, privilege, and performance. Let's map the timeline. In 1900 to 1904, women's silhouettes were sculpted by S-bend corsets and shimmering silk gowns. Feminine luxury meant elite leisure. By 1905 to 1908, tea gowns bloomed with Orientalist flair and layers of lace, showcasing private elegance and an artistic identity. From 1909 to 1911, Paul Poiret's draped gowns and harem pants signaled a rebellion: no corsets, just avant-garde innovation for those daring enough. By 1912 to 1914, tunics and Empire Revival travelwear became statements of mobility and visible hierarchy. Fashion was a codebook. Your hemline, your sleeve, your very stiffness told society exactly who you were. Let's break it down by class. The aristocracy and haute bourgeoisie dressed to prove their wealth, favoring beaded silk gowns with 6-foot trains, feathered hats, opera gloves, and tea gowns inspired by Asian motifs. They were seen at salons, seaside resorts, and opera houses. To be fashionable was to be inaccessible to labor. The middle class, teachers, clerks, shopkeepers, dressed for respectability and ambition. Shirtwaists, walking suits, and ready-made lingerie dresses bought from Printemps or Galeries Lafayette were their uniform. Fabrics were cotton, tulle, artificial silk. The mantra: dress like the class you want to join. For working-class women, maids, seamstresses, factory workers, function and modesty reigned. Plain frocks, aprons, and second-hand clothes, often sewn from cast-offs, defined their wardrobes. The fashion they made was not the fashion they wore. Now, garments as symbols. Poiret's tunics meant wealth through innovation, worn by elite artists and bohemians. The S-bend corset gowns projected moral femininity and upper-middle-class elegance through restriction. Shirtwaists and skirts signaled professionalism and moral cleanliness for working and middle class. Travel suits proclaimed identity, freedom, and visibility for mobile elites and the rising middle class. Lingerie dresses for the middle class spoke of purity and leisurely summer days. Every garment carried a message. Clothing was a daily costume in society's endless play. Visual culture amplified this performance. Salon portraits by Boldini and Sargent immortalized high society fashion as fine art. Carte de visite photography turned style into public collectibles, and magazines like La Gazette du Bon Ton curated elite tastes for the aspirational masses. Parisian boulevards weren't just streets. They were runways. But there's always commentary woven in thread. Corsets could mean class discipline or oppression, depending on your vantage. Poiret's rebellion showed that wealth could be radical, if it was exotic enough. And as women moved differently, modernism wasn't just in art, but in how they wore and inhabited the world. In the Late Belle Époque, to be dressed was to declare your place, your virtue, and your ambition. If fashion is language, then Late Belle Époque was a sonnet of silk and shadow, where beauty met politics, and every pleat spoke of privilege. Subscribe for more style history with Owl the Storyteller. Until next time, stay curious and stay dressed in meaning.